Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another video for y'all. And this video, I'm not dissing and I'm not hating and I'm not being negative or anything at all. I just want to give y'all facts. When it comes down to sports, the school system, student athletes, like they always tell like for the students that want to play sports, you become a student first, then an athlete. Same thing for the coaches. Like, they'll say that they're a teacher first, then a coach. A- And again, I'm not trying to be negative or anything. I'm just giving y'all the facts. The term student athlete, and I mean, I played football for 6 years. I've seen a lot of stuff. I've heard a lot of stuff. I mean, the term student athlete, to me, it's kind of like a stereotype. Because, I mean, my 6 years of playing football, like, in football practice, there were times where fights had broke out. There were times where, like, guys on the team had got suspended for fighting in school. And they talk about saying that, like, as a student athlete, you're supposed to have discipline. I mean, to be honest with you, some of them guys, just because of the sport they play, is the only reason they come to school. I mean, them student athletes, I'm pretty sure a lot of them don't even like school, and a lot of them don't even care about school because they know a lot of the stuff that they're learning. They know a lot of the stuff that they're being taught in the classroom doesn't have nothing to do with the sport that they want to play. And you see, like, for example, visual arts. Like, you got a student that's taking visual arts like they want to be a basketball player. Visual arts doesn't have nothing to do with basketball at all. I mean, visual arts, they're not even gonna use it when they graduate. They don't even want to be a visual artist. They don't want to draw. They don't want to be a visual artist. They want to be an athlete. So yeah, I mean, the term student athlete, like I said, I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but to me it's kind of like a little bit of a stereotype because I've seen a lot of stuff, and that's the thing about it. Coaches know this stuff. Coaches know this stuff. Teachers know this stuff. They know this stuff. They know that with the stuff that they're teaching a student athlete in school doesn't have nothing to do with the sport that they play. And that's another thing too, like, for those of y'all like teenagers that are playing sports trying to go pro, make sure that you're eligible. I mean, and I know a lot of you probably don't even like school. I know a lot of you probably don't really care that much for school because you're learning a bunch of stuff that don't have nothing to do with the sport that you play. You know what I mean? My advice, just make sure that you have the eligibility, because a lot of that stuff that you're being taught in school, when you graduate, you're not even going to use it. Just make sure you have the eligibility. But yeah, I mean, and also know that there's some of y'all student athletes that do, get good grades, that do achieve in school, that do excel, in the classroom. You know what I mean? But everybody's different. Everybody's different. This is just me speaking about how I feel. This is something that I had thought about for years. The term student athlete, because my years of playing football, being told like I gotta, like gotta have discipline, gotta have good grades. Not everybody learns the same. Is every student athlete a straight A student? No. And I'm pretty sure, like, for the athletes and the pros in the NBA, the NFL, the MLS, Major League Soccer, Major League Baseball, I'm pretty sure that there's a decent amount of them that when it comes down to their IQ is probably not like on a genius level. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the thing about it. You got some of these athletes out here that are woke. You got some of these athletes out here that are woke, that know that what they learned in school didn't really have nothing to do with what they wanted to do. You know what I mean? But they were doing what they needed to do to make sure that they had the eligibility to be able to play the sport that they love for a living. You gotta make sure you're eligible. You know, like stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, my advice, to be eligible to play sports, you don't even gotta be a straight A student. You don't even gotta have honor roll. You know what I mean? Just make sure that you're eligible. Now, again, I'm not saying that you should just sit there, be lazy, and not do your work. Absolutely not. You still gotta do your best. You still gotta try hard. But if you having trouble and if you flunk a test, like I always say, that test more than likely is not going to be beneficial in your future. It was a test on something that you didn't really understand, and it's a test on something that you probably don't even need to understand because you're not even going to use it in your real life. So, yo, I just wanted to do this video because, they always talk about student athlete, like get good grades, gotta have discipline. But coaches be seeing the stuff. They see guys getting into trouble, this and that. There's actually been some college athletes that had the chance of going pro, but they had got in trouble because they did something stupid. And that's another thing. Like, when it comes down to being a kid wanting to be an athlete, when they grow up and they look up to these pro athletes, I mean, with the stuff that some of these pro athletes do, going into clubs, getting into fighting clubs, getting into trouble for putting their hands on their partner or whatever, like, there's a decent amount of these pro athletes that aren't really role models. But that's how it is with a lot of people. When the money and fame gets to them, they just end up getting caught into the glamorous lifestyle that they end up doing something stupid. You know what I mean? If I was to be a professional athlete, I would definitely be a role model to kids. But yeah, I just wanted to speak about this because this is something that's been on my mind for a minute. When they talk about student athlete, like, I mean, and again, I'm not being negative. I'm just being real. I'm giving the facts. Some of them guys, just because the sport that they play is the only reason they come to school, and some of them are actually great players too. They're like key players for the team. Some of them aren't key players. Some of them don't really get no playing time. They just want to be on the team. They just want to be on the team for popularity. But yo, I just wanted to share this with y'all. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share. Love y'all.